Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Downsized Live. My name is Christopher Durham, and this is the crazy channel where we talk about all things GLP-1. If you saw the thumbnail, you know I have a special guest tonight, and I know you know who that is. Let's see who it is. And look, she's wearing the same shirt as in the thumbnail.
Excellent. Hey, everybody.
It is Allie. So for frequent viewers, you know that Laraine had a colonoscopy this morning. Everything went fine, no problems whatsoever. There was a few little things they had to clean out. You know, it's always kind of a vacuuming Swiffer colon thing going on there.
I'm sure she's loving this description right now.
Oh, she's actually sitting over there. She was just snapping and groggy and not really up for it. Now, it wouldn't shock me if she joins in on the fun because you know how it goes. But she's fine. She's perfectly fine. And she said, well, why don't you do it yourself? I'm like, well, let me call Allie because Allie would be fun to have on. So Allie from Fit Flavor Fun.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for thinking of me.
Do you think everybody knows you, Allie?
I think so. I think for the most part, yeah, I can see everybody in the comments. Hey, guys. Yeah, I think they know. And if not, then this will be an awesome introduction to all things me.
All things Allie. So people ask all the time, well, do you YouTubers, social media folks know? So a lot of them we've communicated with. Some of them I know better than others. Some of them I've met in person. Allie and I've never met in person, but hopefully someday we will. And we will chat about things going on in the news or our cats or dogs or, whatever's going on. So Allie and I talk pretty regularly, so it's fun. Before we jump in, of course, Allie, we have to tell everybody that we're not doctors, right? You're not a doctor.
And I don't play one on TV.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble if I was your doctor. So these are prescription medications. Please talk to your doctor, your prescriber, to get a plan built just for you. Just because it worked for Allie or I does not mean it will work for you. We are only experts at ourselves, right?
That's right.
And of course, you see Allie's handle right there at Fit Flavor Fun. So make sure you go over and like and subscribe to her channel as well. I like to say 74% of America is overweight or has overweight or obesity, which means the market for this is literally gigantic. Literally gigantic.
Are you calling me gigantic?
Never you, Laraine. Never you.
But it means there's plenty of space for a lot of different channels with a lot of different perspectives. And the perspective that Laraine and I have is not what Allie has, is not what Dave Knapp has, is not what Round Mound of Zepbound has. Insert your favorite YouTuber here. So I wanted to have her on. Well, so Allie, introduce yourself just in case nobody knows who you are. I find that hard to believe, but.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm Allie from Fit Flavor Fun. I've lost 130 pounds while taking a GLP-1, and I like to call myself a GLP-1 educator. I like to help people where I can. We have a positive only community, and really it's about building each other up and helping each other through all the little nuances that is the GLP-1 journey. Like Christopher was pointing out earlier, right? It's different for each person, but together, right, we can help each other.
I love that. I love that. So tell me, when did you start your channel?
Back in the day, which was a Wednesday. It was shortly after I started Mounjaro, which I started 11/17 of 23. So I think it was like that week because I kind of journaled the whole experience. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So
you were right in there when we started too. So I think we were September, about the same time, and then we started our channel in March of 2024. Which seems like forever ago. now.
It really does. But at the same time, it seems like a blink of an eye. It's like, I remember, it feels like just yesterday I was like, okay, I'm going to start researching GLP-1s. Like, what is this all about? And I was getting on YouTube and, trying to find other creators like myself. So, but it just seems like
but give us more details on yourself then. So height, and are you at your target weight, or whatever you'd like to call that?
That's a great question. So I am 5'6", 5'6.2" on a really good day. And I started out at 285 pounds. And like I said, I've lost 130 pounds. I never picked a goal weight. So I am still, by BMI standards, which we all know is garbage, I'm still considered to be just slightly above. So I'm in like the overweight category.
I live right on the edge there.
Yeah, but we all know that BMI is garbage. I look forward to trying out the new kind of, where they're doing a waist measurement. Although I think that's going to mess me up because that's where a lot of my loose skin is. And one thing I want to throw out there for everybody, just in case you haven't heard me say this before, when you are on a weight loss journey, you could be carrying anywhere from 8 to 13 pounds of loose skin. So keep that in mind as you're working towards your goal weight, right? Make sure you're talking to your doctor and that you're flexible in what that number is. So,
and if you haven't seen it, there's a couple of the folks out there. I'm thinking, Zach Nemick out there, who's getting ready to have surgery, and he very famously on TikTok is shirtless a lot of the time just to show how much extra skin he has.
Yes.
And you're like, okay, yeah, that I can see where that's weight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. You live in Gulf Shores or no?
Yes. Yeah, I'm down in the South.
Down in the South. I like it. All right. So let's
hey,
see.
Todd's here.
Who we have. Oh, Todd's here. Hello, Todd. Todd says, good evening, Christopher and Allie. Beautiful evening here in Wichita. Glad to be without you. And all the downsized drinking my Diet Cherry Pepsi Zero, even though it may not count as water, I assume, which I think it counts personally.
Yeah.
I'm not a scientist or doctor, but I count all liquid personally.
Absolutely. All liquid counts.
I mean, I wouldn't count tequila, don't get me wrong, but.
Well, you got to watch out with tequila because it'll tequila you. I hear Laraine laughing in the background.
She's funny. You give it a minute, JoJo might join us. Who knows? I haven't seen her up here. Well, I think that's exciting. Well, so what have you been seeing out there that you're interested in, Allie?
So, what I've been looking at recently is the studies that have been coming out, a lot of which have to do with maintenance, which I know is something that's big in the GLP-1 community and has been for, ever since we all kind of, as we transition in that direction. So all the information that's coming out about maintenance, and really what's hot for me right now is all of the chatter in the support groups, specifically Foundeo and the Wegovy pill. So a lot of people moving from injections to the pills.
I think that's only going to grow. I mean, the numbers from Novo Nordisk on the oral Wegovy launch were just through the roof. 2 million prescriptions. I mean, it's insane. And I think about 80% of those were new to somebody who had never taken a GLP-1. So it's just getting more treatment to more people. Well, maintenance. Well, tell us where you are in maintenance. How are you approaching that? What's your strategy?
My strategy is to not gain weight.
I like that strategy.
Listen, I'm over here just winging it. So like I said earlier, I don't have like a set weight in mind. I'm currently focusing on building muscle. So, with that comes, your weight kind of fluctuates. It goes up and down. So really, that's kind of where my focus is. Yep. And I just try to keep it within a 10-pound range. which, I mean, it can be challenging, right? You have a high sodium day, then your weight's up. You have a high carb day, then your weight's up. So yeah, so I just try to keep it within the range, and then hopefully I'm building muscle. I really need to do like a DEXA scan or something like that.
Right.
But don't worry, I'll be sure to invite you to the gun show.
Well, so you're also a type 2 diabetic, correct?
Yes. Yes, I
So
do in fact have the diabetes.
So when you look at your medication and your titration and your dosing and maintenance and type 2 diabetes, how do those things impact each other?
Yeah. So for me, I was extremely lucky, let me say up front. I think that I probably would have been considered a hyper responder in the beginning of my journey. So
Mhm.
I had immediate results like an hour from taking the very first shot. And my blood sugar stabilized very, very quickly and continued. My A1C, started going down like with 2.5. So in that aspect, I was really fortunate. And then it's really just been kind of a game of, let's not get the dosing too high, but also let's continue to lose weight, because really my blood sugar just kind of became beautiful in the beginning. And so going up in dose was really more about losing weight and kind of getting in a healthier body versus controlling blood sugar. Oh my gosh, there's so many confettis. What's happening?
That's the blood sugar confetti here.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I
I mean, I
like
can
it.
give you the dancing robot if you'd like.
Oh no, I love the robot. Mr. Roboto. I love it. So
Well, so
yeah,
then
so
what has your strategy been on dosing then now that you're not actively trying to lose weight?
yeah, it's really just been kind of a game of cat and mouse when it comes to, can I come down in dose? Should I go up
Mhm.
in dose? I went up to 15 and I was having some low blood sugar challenges, which, can happen. But essentially, I figured out that I was doing it to myself unintentionally. Um, and I just had like too big of a window where I wasn't eating before bed, because early in my GLP-1 journey, I taught myself, hey, if I eat late at night, then I wake up at like 2 a.m. and I don't feel well. So it's like, okay, well, I'll just switch dinner time to a little bit earlier. No biggie.
Mhm.
Well, that became my routine. Well, then as I got higher up in dose, right, and the suppression got a little bit stronger, then I was not consuming enough to, make it through the night per my diabetes. So I had to
Are you
switch
using the
that up.
CGM or no?
Yes, yeah. So at that time I was. I'm not using one currently, but I couldn't figure out what was happening. So I was waking up in the middle of the night, pool of sweat, and horrible, horrible headaches, and I couldn't figure out what was wrong. So went to the doctor, and doctor was like, I don't know what's wrong. Your blood sugar is normal.
That inspires
And
confidence. Thanks.
thanks, doc. I appreciate you. I'm so glad I'm paying $189 for this visit because my insurance sucks. This is awesome. Thanks, doc. So, anyway, I said, okay, let's put in. I've been doing some research. Thanks, Google. So let's put in a prescription for a CGM and let's see what happens. And my thought was, I got the diabetes. They're going to approve this. Wah, wah. Joke's on me. They did not approve it. And it was very expensive. So I paid for it out of pocket. But I'm glad that I did, because it confirmed what I thought was happening, which is my blood sugar was dropping significantly down to the 50s around 2, 3 a.m. And so I was able to incorporate a late night snack of complex protein or complex carbs, I'm sorry, and protein. And that was enough to correct the problem. So
I
it's
think
good
that's
times.
smart. I mean, it's we talk about these medications doing so much, and a lot of times we kind of throw away the comorbidities as if, oh, it doesn't really matter. Well, type 2 is the obvious one that really does matter. I would argue sleep apnea and heart problem. There's a lot of other ones that do as well, but
Absolutely.
type 2 is the most obvious.
Gina said something about she eat a cookie and wake up dead or something, like she had to be careful of her blood sugar.
She's
Gina
talking
from
about
Anchor
Gina
Moments.
LeBenz from a distance from Anchor Moments, who also has type 2 diabetes. Yeah, so I don't remember what Gina said. Let's see here. Do we have any questions for Allie? Because Allie has a whole different set of experiences than Laraine and I do.
Yeah, I see some questions. We got some QQQs in the chat. By the way, hello, everybody. I see all of your comments saying hello. I'm so glad you guys are here.
It is very exciting. Laraine, are you going to run these or do you want me to, darling?
Well, here's a question.
Oh, pop it up there.
It popped up.
Let's see. Are you at higher risk for twisted small bowel on 15 milligram dosage of Mounjaro?
I don't know what that means.
Patsy, who's also a member, I have not seen any research that would lead me to believe that, but I'm not a doctor. I don't know. Allie, do you have any insight on that?
No, so I haven't heard of very many cases specifically of twisted small bowel. Now, if you were talking about just a blockage in general rather than twisted small bowel, because that's a little more specific, the risk for a blockage, as far as I know, and again, I'm not a doctor, but as far as I know, it doesn't necessarily go up in dose. It just has to do with managing your side effects, right? Specifically constipation. But for twisted small bowel, that's not one that I see regularly.
And Laraine had the colonoscopy today and she was quite sedated. So I talked to the doctor. He talked to us, but I'm not sure she remembers it. And Laraine has, and I don't remember the name of the thing, but one part of her bowel kind of turns an unusual way.
Very redundant colon.
A very redundant colon. But that's just genetic. That's just how she was born. And he like draws it out as a picture and all that. But other than that, he's like, no, it just kind of, it was fine. There's a few little things they took out, but there was nothing, she's been on, I guess she's on 10 milligrams right now. It has been for a while. And I've done a colonoscopy twice now on 15 milligrams and it's fine. No big deal. It's, certainly not fun. What else you got there, Laraine?
Kimberly loves Allie's video today.
Oh, Kimberly loves your video today. Tell us about that video, Allie.
That's a very good question. My brain is fried.
Do you remember what it was?
I don't remember what it was. Because I think I posted a few. Sometimes when inspiration hits me, I'll get a few out in the day. So, today was targeted GLP-1 ads. Is she the only one? So a lot of people online are complaining about the GLP-1 ads that they see all over the place.
I get them all the time.
Everybody does.
And I actually now get them for companies trying to sell us the ability to sell GLP-1s ourselves. So like companies helping other companies start telehealths.
Yes.
I'm like, I don't have enough attorneys for that. Thanks. But
yeah, oddly enough, I got one of those and that was my exact response. I was like, hey, yeah, let me know. Do you already have a legal team on standby? No, you haven't even considered that yet. Might want to start with that before you start grabbing up influencers.
Yeah, these are like selling the background software and the connections to the prescribers and all that. I'm like, no, I think we're good. We don't need to do all that. Daydream Believer, who's also a member, says, why are the dose numbers different between compounded and name brand? How do you know what is correct if you use 12.5 branded? That's easy enough. The branded ones are based off of, and I assume you're on Zepbound or Mounjaro because 12.5 is a dose for that, are based off what Eli Lilly said in their trials. In order for compounded medication to currently make medication, they have to be distinctly different than the branded piece. So it has to be personalized just for you. And one of the ways legally today, now we'll see what happens tomorrow, there's always court cases to do that, is for them to adjust the dosing So maybe it goes up 10%, down 10%, but it's always it's always similar. So I don't know that there's something correct or incorrect about it. What you're looking at is the starting dose and then a jump each time such that your body has enough to adjust as you titrate.
12.5 might be 13.4
Yeah.
or 14.4.
Yeah. So you're just going to have to look at it and talk to your prescriber, because they're the ones who can help you with your dosing and all of that. Allie, you've actually done both compounded and branded, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I know that it can be challenging, especially if you're switching from the branded medication to compound, and the dosing changes. But one thing I will say, as far as my experience goes, is that you can work with your doctor to figure out kind of where in that 10% is good for you, and the differences are so slight. It really just depends on if you're somebody who has more severe side effects, which of course you want to talk to your doctor about, because that custom dosing can really be helpful when it comes to those side effects.
Yeah. You can turn it up a little bit or down a little bit based off what you need. Yeah. Joe says, can I ask Allie about her personal study comparing patients that have been on tirzepatide and moved to retatrutide? It is valuable information to share with our community. I can do that, but I will first say that there is no legally available retatrutide in the world today unless you are in a Eli Lilly-based trial. There are lots of people currently purchasing it from overseas in what's called the gray market. It's not actually gray. It's illegal to buy and use. People will now, the hordes will come out and say terrible things to me. But it is illegal to buy and use. So there are lots of people out there. We don't actually know if what they're using is retatrutide or if it's something else. So it's all anecdotal. But I know Allie's talked to lots of people and has done some research on that. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So I just want to clarify what Joe is referencing here. So it's not like an official study. So I just want to make sure, just in case you haven't been to my lives. So what I do is I track trends in the GLP-1 community and also in the research grade and gray market community. So when I talk about what it is that I'm seeing, right, I am tracking that information, but it's not like an official study. So I just want to be clear. I don't want somebody walking away thinking that Allie, man, she's a GLP-1 researcher. She really knows her stuff. No, I'm just out here winging it with the rest of us. So anyway, but Joe, to answer your question, so have been on tirzepatide, moved to retatrutide. Yeah. So what, you'll have to let me know what specifically you want to know. Essentially, what I've talked about is that there are many people who have been on tirzepatide and had good results, most of which who are not type 2 diabetic. So I just want to frame that. And they've moved to retatrutide and they're kind of disappointed. Tirzepatide is, you can ask anybody, it is the king of appetite suppression. And when you're transitioning to another GLP-1 in generally speaking, there's a little bit of a hit and miss. There's a little bit of a transition period where you really have to be patient with it until you start seeing results. And I think that a lot of people, because retatrutide is not on the market yet, they think, this is the latest and greatest. I'm going to go to Reta and I'm going to lose the rest of my weight, right? But then they get over there and they're like, oh no, this is just more of the same. What happened? And it's because we see a lot of the influencers online that are taking it that say, oh my gosh, it's the best thing since sliced bread. And that's fantastic. But it's important to keep in mind the individual, right? And I think that a lot of people, they forget about that when they're making the switch, whether it's tirzepatide to retatrutide or to something else, right? I see this a lot with people that are transitioning from injectables to pills. They're like, I'm not losing weight. I'm not seeing a difference. My doctor started me at the lowest dose. I don't feel anything, right? And they get frustrated. And it's important to remember, if you're making any kind of switch, that there's going to be that transition period until you tweak the dose and get it just right.
Well, and in general, it amazes me. particularly in the transition, it's about sticking it out for a little while. It doesn't magically happen the next day, although Allie felt it like hour one, and I think I felt it in the first day or two, particularly transitioning from one med to another because they are similar.
Yes.
It's not doesn't magically work the next day. You're going to have to stick it out a little bit. I mean, we talked. There was a lady that commented the other day on ours that I feel like I'm a failure. I've only lost, I forget, some 72 pounds in X number. We were like, no, that's kind of a pound a week. You're doing great. You are average. Congratulations. Mindy, hello, Miss Mindy. How are you doing? Joining late. Mindy, of course, is also a member and a moderator. Mayor Mindy, she's got there. And our friend Darium, also a moderator. Darium's everywhere. Talking about the shenanery squad. That shenanery is one of Allie's patent pending words.
Stormy.
Hello, Miss Midwife. Talking Miss Metabolic Midwife. That's Barb. Used to be Health at Any Cost. She changed her name to the Metabolic Midwife. Yep.
Lori's here. Hi, Lori.
Lori. Huh? So all the GLP-1 YouTubers are out there. Barb says insurance took my CGM away too. Diabetic for 30 plus years. It just amazes me they'll take that device away. I mean, I don't know how it would hurt somebody to have more information, and it might be healthier. Oh no.
Yeah, well, and I think part of the challenge there is that, we have all these phenomenal CGM devices. Side note, I was using a G7. Somebody asked earlier. But they're expensive. So it just like with GLP-1s, insurance companies are like, no, you don't need that. You can just do a finger prick. You can pick that up at, your local pharmacy for, $35. Yeah, but that doesn't help me in the middle of the night, which was my challenge. So I am a huge fan of the CGM.
Cool. Let's see here. The Betty Rod says, QQQ guys, I'm always wanting to eat. I'm on 7.5 milligrams of Zepbound. Should I increase? I've been on 7.5 for 3.5 months. I don't know, Allie, what do you think?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll jump in there. Listen, I'll just take over. You just watch me.
You go, girl.
Watch me. Okay.
Go. Like
So yeah, Betty, this is a pretty common thing that I hear on 7.5. I don't have any research to back that up. All I can tell you is that your experience is incredibly common, so you are not alone. You've been doing phenomenal. 3.5 months on 7.5. You're a rock star. Okay, but side note, getting back to your question. So if you're always wanting to eat, if you are having increased hunger, right, you really want to dial it in and look at your nutrition. Now, one thing I like to recommend to people is to work with a dietitian. Many times they are covered by insurance, guys. Please, please utilize your resources. If you don't know where to start to get one, talk to your regular GP. A lot of the telehealth companies offer them for free. It's included in, whatever you pay for. So just keep that as a side note. Now, if you've already dialed in your nutrition and you're feeling like, hey, this is just getting to be too much, like you feel like you're kind of white knuckling through every week, then you may want to talk to your doctor about going up in dose. But just know this is an incredibly common thing that I hear on 7.5. I also had this struggle on 7.5.
Now, I'll tell you, one of my increasing annoyances, we'll say, is while I agree with the notion of going low and slow, I have come to believe that there are a lot of people going so low and slow that they're wasting time and money at some point. And they've got to find that sweet spot to where I don't know how long she's been having this food noise. I don't know how long she's been stalled. And if it's been for 2 months, yes, stay low and slow. Honestly, I mean, all the research I'm seeing today says that essentially there's no way to extend the viability of the medication. Right? If it's going to stop working for you, it's going to stop working for you. If it's going to keep working, it's going to keep working. There is, however, a way to stay on the medication longer by reducing side effects. And that's really why you go low and slow. It doesn't necessarily mean doesn't mean it's going to last another 5 years because you stayed out that extra, month or whatever. So if you need to go up, talk to your doctor. Don't be afraid that you're going to run out of runway with doses. It doesn't matter. Keep going. If you're losing weight, do it. All right, let's see. Gwen Roy Rose, a member, thank you, Gwen, says, how did you first hear about GLP-1s, Allie?
Yeah, so I was having some health challenges, and I walked into my doctor's office thinking everything was fine and dandy, and then my doctor said, "Hey, I think you might be diabetic," and I was like, "Who,
Not
me?
me.
You talking to
No,
me?
no, not me. No. Clearly, I am fine. I'm fine. I'm 285 pounds, but I'm fine. I'm fine. This is just like normal stuff that people go through as they reach their 40s, right? Right? Yeah, no. So that was, I mean, I had heard about them previously, but it wasn't something that I had really started to research until I had that visit with my doctor. And thankfully, my doctor, she was freaking phenomenal. And she was like, yeah, listen, this happened to my mom. And I put her on Manjaro and she's doing great. She's down 60 pounds. And so if you're interested, let's talk about it. And we went over the side effects and everything. And I said, okay, go ahead and write the script. I'm going to do some research. So I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up or not. Spoiler, I picked it up and here I am today. So yeah, but that was how it started.
I love it. I love it. So let's see. There's 310 people out there. Hello, everybody. This is the Downsized. If you don't know us, there's 89 likes. So quite a number of you have not hit that like button. Go ahead and do it right now. Right? Go ahead and do it. As Laraine would say, I'll wait.
I love that.
If you're looking for Laraine, she's not here right now. She is actually off in the distance, and you might hear her mumbling. She had a colonoscopy today and did just fine with it, but there was sedative and stuff, and so she wasn't up to being on camera today. However, we invited our friend Allie from Fit Flavor Fun, who also has a YouTube channel, to join me this evening. If you don't know Allie, go over to Fit Flavor Fun, subscribe there. She has all kinds of fun GLP-1 related information as well. All right. Lily says, ask her if she's still down with NAD.
You down with NAD? Yeah, you know me. I'm sorry. As soon as I read it, I couldn't help myself. Yes.
Doing it as well. So
yes. That's why I love her. Okay. Yes, absolutely. I love NAD. I use it. I have some videos on my channel about it. So if you guys, if you're curious about it, if you struggle with GLP-1 fatigue, it is an absolute game changer. And definitely go watch those videos. But yes, I still love NAD. It's been phenomenal, both for my GLP-1 fatigue and also for my ADD, because in case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of like all over the place. So yes, it has helped me with both.
Laraine wants to know how you're dosing NAD.
Yeah, so I currently do what would be considered a microdose. And I do it maybe 2-3 times a week, depending on what I have going on. If I have a really busy week at work and I need my brain to be top notch, then I might even do more. It just depends. But, it's something that you definitely have to work with your doctor, because the dosing is not like what we see with GLP-1s, right? The dosing is really specific to the individual. So whereas I only need a microdose, others may need a higher dose, and that's perfectly fine. The beauty of NAD is it's actually something you produce in your body, but as we age, we tend to lose quite a bit of it, right? I mean, this whole getting older thing is just for the birds, I tell you.
Oh, you're a baby girl. Come on, I got you by a lot of years.
But definitely NAD is a win. Taryn, I see you booping me. Boop. She's in the comments.
Darium out there. Please make sure to keep your care team in mind. Let's see. Barb says, start your questions with a QQQ so Christopher and Allie can see your questions. Thank you, Barb. Let's see. Renewed in France. Hello from Oregon. I realize it's not approved, but it turns out that if I get the KwikPen 15 milligrams Zepbound, I could subdivide that into 3 shots for 5 milligram dosage. It would be slightly cheaper. Okay, so I actually just used my first KwikPen 2 weeks ago and filmed a video on it that'll come out in the next week or so.
Oh, I'm excited.
Super exciting, and I liked it. It was fine. There's a few more steps in there, but it's okay. And I read the instructions on the screen that Lily prints, and Lily clearly says, "Do not subdivide the pen, as well as do not draw any extra liquid out of it." Both of which we know have been done extensively globally. They don't like it because you're obviously saving money. Here in the U.S., it would cause an issue because on our cash pay KwikPens, if you don't buy them every 45 days at that 15 milligram dose, the price goes up considerably. So it would be difficult to do here. Now, I don't know that that's the same in France, but there's whole charts on how to do click dosing. I mean, well, then you're in Oregon. So yeah, you watch if you're getting it through your insurance, it shouldn't matter. If you're cash paying, your price will go up if you don't buy them. Let's see here. Back there, yeah. Lorraine's good. Oh, here's Kirsten's memory love. All glad to see you.
Wait, Laraine, I think you should continue to go through the comments that fast, and let's have Christopher read them that fast. Let's do that. Just like pew 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 pew. I'm just kidding. Don't do that to him.
Torturous.
Wait. I'm getting confused.
Now she's going backwards. Laraine, they got you on the good stuff. What's happened? Look, Joe just put out a QQQ with nothing behind it. People are just getting wild.
So go back to that one about AI. There you go. Neo Queen Serenity. Would you recommend AI for dosage calculations or any medical advice? I love AI. I use ChatGPT. I use Claude. I use like all of them all the time, and I ask it questions and all that. I would be extremely cautious of medical advice from it, and you really want to confirm anything with your actual doctor. As far as dosage calculations, I'm not sure what you mean. Maybe you're on compounded and you're trying to figure out how many units you're doing, that kind of thing. Be careful. AI imagines things, and it may not be completely right. You love AI too, I know, Allie.
Yeah. So, hey, my Neo Queen. So, one thing I will say is, depending on what you're looking at online, right, you're going to get different answers everywhere. This is one of the main issues of people looking for dosage calculations in the support groups, right? Because, right, nobody in there is a doctor, and we're all kind of all over the place and we're winging it. So what I recommend to people is, if you want to use a dosage calculator like a peptide calculator, you can. And then double check that with AI, and then double check that with doing even more research, right? And then at the end of it, if you think you've narrowed it down, send a message to your doctor, right, in your little portal, and see, what they have to say. A lot of times, if you can narrow down your question to something a little more specific, you'll get a response from your doctor a lot faster. So at least that's the case with my doctor. I don't know, my doctor's just busy all the time. So yeah, always double check everything. It's my motto.
We've talked to far too many people who have accidentally taken double or triple the dose, and they were like, I got really sick, this medication's killing me. I'm like,
You took too much.
Yeah,
it was you. Sorry.
Right. User error.
Allie, in your observations, what's the trend with bone issues, if any?
Yeah. So, as far as trends go, people reporting it in the support groups, it's mostly just people asking this exact question. Oh my gosh, am I going to lose bone mass? Oh my gosh, I saw this horrible thing online and it showed bones that look like Swiss cheese, right? That's really the trend that I see. But when people are actually doing the scans, right, with their doctor's office, um, I don't see that there's a significant bone loss. Now, there are fewer people who are doing that, so please keep that in mind, right? We don't have a large number of people to pull from, but it's really very minimal. I think that for the most part, if you are working with your doctor, staying on top of your nutrition and resistance training, this is a big one, then you will likely see that, bone loss is going to be minimal. And remember that resistance training is key because it takes a lot more for your body, right, to move at 285 pounds than it does at 140 pounds. So, right, there's muscle mass in that, and then there's also bone mass. So just keep that in mind.
So what I tell you, because I know we have a large senior viewer population, is the older you are, 65, 70, 75, the more prone to osteoporosis and osteopenia you are. It just has nothing to do with the medication. It just has to do with aging. So make sure you're working closely with your doctor, because that's going to automatically be a concern. And make sure you're getting enough nutrition. If you do not get the nutrition you need, your body will take it from your bones, from your muscle, from your whatever. It's why you've got to get all the stuff. Work with your doctor. Oh,
That's
here
right.
comes a Laraine and a JoJo.
I just wanted to say hi. Hi, Allie. Hi, everybody out there. I've been sleeping kind of all day, sleeping off the anesthesia, but I just want to say hi and thanks, Allie, for filling in and coming on tonight. And thanks everyone out there for asking about me. Everything went fine. I don't have to have another colonoscopy for 2 years. Yay.
Okay. And can we all just take a moment to notice that Laraine went to the doctor today? She's sleeping and her hair still looks perfect. How do you do this?
I have good hair. I always said, well, God made me chunky, but he also gave me good hair. So it's, just genetics, but thanks. I'll leave JoJo in charge here.
Hey, look, I'm in a little bubble now.
Oh, yeah, you are in a little bubble.
Oh, no. Okay, now I went back.
Oh,
I
I
was
can
going to
put
do
you
like
back
a
in the
whole
little
mime
bubble.
thing. Okay.
There
All right.
you
Now
go.
you got me back in the box. All right.
I know. Let's see here.
Look, everybody's agreeing with me in the comments. They're like, best hair. I agree. All right. Tell us, JoJo, when did you first learn about GLP-1s?
Ah!
No, cat butt. This is not appropriate for YouTube.
JoJo was in our news episode this past week, just because sometimes she is and we don't care. And someone commented, "Oh, in 5 seconds there was a cat butt and a mouse butt."
That's too
Mouse
funny.
research. Let's see here. Grant's faithful GLP-1 journey. Hello, Grant. We did a downsized dish with Grant. Says, Allie, when you were using a CGM, did you have a lot of trouble with compression lows at night?
No. And I'll tell you how I did it. So I had never previously used a CGM. I always did, finger pokey. So I did a ton of research. I know that shocks you. Before I did my first CGM, and I found that in the type 1 diabetic community, they have all these videos with like hacks and things like that. Anyway, so in my research, I found that there were key sites that were not approved sites that people were using so that they didn't get the compression lows at night. And for those of you who've not used a CGM before, it's like a little device, right? It sticks to your skin. And if you press on it, then it will give you a low blood sugar reading, even though you don't have low blood sugar. And then if you have it hooked up to your phone like I did, the crazy loud alarm goes off, wee wee, and wakes you up out of a sleep, right, and scares you half to death. So the way that I went around getting around that is I put my CGM on the top of my thigh, and I show that in videos. So if you want to go check that out, and there are a couple of other injection sites you can use as well, with the approval of my doctor. Side note, I did talk to my doctor about it.
So if you're just joining, this is Allie. Allie is also a type 2 diabetic and has lost how much? Remind me again,
130 potatoes.
130 potatoes, which we can actually say as pounds on YouTube.
Yeah.
So she's also a type 2 diabetic. So she's talking about using a CGM, which is a continuous glucose monitor, to manage her diabetes. Not everyone needs that if you don't have diabetes. Some people still use it, but not everyone needs it. But to kind of give you a reference, and where they attach, sometimes you'll roll over and it'll compress it and set alarms off and things. Sold by Storm says, Allie, can you discuss your booty shot experience? Also, when do you know if you have loose fat or skin, if that makes sense? This live is 100% awesome.
I 100% agree with Stormy's statement here. So
I think he lives in North Carolina, if I remember. But
hey, all right, North Kakalaki in the house. Okay, so so I made a video recently. In one of my lives, everybody kind of got together and said, "Hey, we want you to test doing an injection with the booty. We're doing a glute shot," which, you know, if your doctor approves it, right, you obviously want to talk to them first. But essentially, you're injecting into fat. And the reason why I wanted to test this site is because many people, as they get closer to their goal weight, they have challenges finding a good fat location on their body. For example, I used to exclusively do my injections in the thigh, but now I can't because it's just incredibly uncomfortable. I mean, I still can, but it's not as fluffy there anymore. So it's uncomfortable for me. So yeah. So peer pressure. I did the booty shot and then reported my experience. I was actually really surprised at how it didn't go as I thought it would. So not a bad spot, right? If that was the only option you had, but I won't be doing it again. But if you want to know more about that, you have to go watch the video.
And I assume that thumbnail was AI generated.
Yes. And listen, I actually had to tone it down. I kept running it through and I was like, no, make it more conservative, less booty, because it started out and it had me like in a thong doing
Oh my.
And I'm like, oh, excuse me, Mr. ChatGPT, I need you to calm down. So it was wild.
So it's a silly thumbnail of Allie looking back over her shoulder with booty out, kind of not really out, but
it's not that type of video.
No, not that type of video. Let's see here. Oh, so the loose skin question too. How do you know the difference between loose skin and fat?
Yeah, so it's going to vary from person to person. There are a lot of people that will still keep kind of a layer of fat, right? So like here I have, it's harder to see here, but I have some loose skin here. And if I pinch it, right, like I can get a good bit of it, but if a doctor was to take a look and then look at potentially removing it, right, it's really mostly skin. It's very, very little fat. Other people, you will see them where it's like no fat, it's just skin. So it really just depends on how you store your fat, right, and where you store it and where the loose skin is. So yeah, it's you got to look at it a person by person basis.
Well, I think when you pinch it, you can kind of feel the skin rolling against itself versus fat between the skin, if that makes sense. Like maybe you need to find a fat spot and compare it to I don't know, you begin to, I think the longer you do this, the more you'll look at your body and you're like, oh, who knew? Yeah. Who knew? It's crazy. Deborah Kendrick, who's a member of Club Downsized. I always feel that I have been titrated up way too slow. I'm on 5.3 milligrams compounded. I started to appetite in January and still only on 5.3. Absolutely zero side effects. Well, Deborah, you'd have to give us more information. Are you losing weight? Or, I mean, what's going on? I mean, like we interviewed the lady yesterday, Keely, who had been on basically 2.5 up to 7 for a year and lost 150 pounds. Worked just fine for her. We know Jamie Selzler, who didn't lose a pound until he got up to the 10, 12.5. So, what do your numbers look like other than that? It's just time passing. I don't know. Jay, this one's all you, Ellie. I know you're not a fan of 7.5.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyone else disappointed after first week on 7.5? That was me. 7.5Z. I love that. Gained all week, and I haven't been able to have a bowel movement, hence constipation. Started a psyllium husk regimen today. Yeah. I was not a fan of 7.5. I stuck it out as long as I possibly could. I was saying earlier in the live that this is really common. I would love for, Eli Lilly to do a study on why 7.5 causes so many problems for people. But I don't think they ever will. But I would like to throw out for you, Chaz, just in case it helps you, that so you're talking about doing the psyllium husk, right, for the constipation. One thing that really helped me when it came to constipation was eating my fiber. Now, you can absolutely do a supplement. There are a lot of people who do. There's nothing wrong with that. But it didn't really work for me. And I know that there are others that have challenges as well. It's like you feel like you're supplementing everything. And the next thing you know, you're like, I'm on a GLP-1 and I take 20 gabillion supplements. This is insane. So one thing that I did was I switched out my bread for me, which is bagels, regular bread, tortillas, for the Hero brand, which is incredibly high in fiber. Listen, ladies in the house, one tortilla and you've met your fiber goal.
Oh, that's like eating a cardboard box.
You would think so. But it's actually delicious. Like, I will straight up just eat one as a snack. They're just that good. And I haven't found anything else that's that good. The bagels are good. The bread is good. So anyway, you don't have to use that brand, but take a look at what kind of substitutions you can make in your diet to get that fiber up. And don't forget about fruits and vegetables, because they also have a lot of fiber.
Vegetables are good. Beans are good. Broccoli is good. All that stuff is good. Chaz, I would also tell you that if you haven't been able to go to the bathroom, you can be carrying a couple of pounds around with you. So,
that's a very good point.
If it's really been a week, you need to take some action. Don't let it go any further than that. And if the psyllium husk doesn't work for you, you might want to be a little more aggressive, talk to a doctor, and make sure you take care of yourself. You don't want to have that put you in the emergency room.
Yeah. My rule that I use just for myself at the recommendation of my doctor is 3 days. I don't allow myself to go 3 days without a bowel movement. And then I start, you got to be proactive. So stay out in front of it.
I'll tell you, when Laraine had the colonoscopy today and she was talking about being constipated, and he straight up was a Miralax guy. He was like, if it's a problem, take a cap of Miralax every day for a couple of days and you'll be fine.
Yeah, many doctors recommend that.
Yeah, I've never used it personally, and I don't typically get the constipation. But here's Allie's channel and the way to subscribe. So make sure everybody goes and subscribes to Fit Flavor Fun.
There's lots of shenanery over there.
Oh, let's see here. Renewed in France. I think you're still in Oregon. KwikPen is $3.99 at 15 milligram is now only $49 more. So subdividing makes good sense for my 5 milligram dosage. True. It does. But remember, now you are saying that you have a cash price. So if you do not rebuy every 45 days, it goes up. And I don't remember the exact number, at least $100, maybe more than that. So make sure you understand the implications of not repeating that purchase, because it can get expensive. Co-op 267 says, how long is my violet's been sitting in my fridge good for? 5 weeks in, down 18 so far. Well, congratulations. You're doing good there. Let's give you some confetti. But still have another dose worth in the vial. Vial 2 has been in the fridge for 2 weeks. Woot woot. Well, so you have two different things going on there. There you have an opened vial, and I assume that your second vial is still sealed. The open vial, typically, once you've injected with it once, most people are going to say it's good for 28 days. So I don't know how long it's been. The sealed vial is going to be dependent on the bud date, so the best use by date that your pharmacy has printed on the vial. Would you add anything to that, Allie?
No, I think you're right on point. And I think that this is something that people need to keep in mind, especially if they are, adjusting their dosing, right? Working with their doctor. You always want to keep an eye on your best use by dates. If you have name brand expiration dates, keep an eye on those. Every few months, kind of take a look at your stock and see what you've got and make sure that you're rotating through. And so you're keeping up your dates so you don't have anything that expires on you or that you need to use up.
And what our friend microbiologist Condi Carmack has told me, and we've actually talked to a couple of Lilly folks when we were in Atlanta at Obesity Week, is they generally don't get concerned about these medications going bad and sour or anything like that that's going to hurt you, but the efficacy will diminish. So it may just not work as well past that bud date. I also would tell you I like to keep them in a box or a Ziploc bag or something, because refrigerators are kind of gross places. And I don't know how long that Chinese food's been sitting in your refrigerator. And do you really want those things floating around on your meds?
Christopher, how did you know that I have Chinese food in my refrigerator that's expired? How did you know? Oh my gosh.
Well, but it's a lot of times I'll tell people, I'm like, go buy a nice Rubbermaid, sealed container to put your stuff in, or on Amazon they have little vial containers or whatever. But
yeah,
if your refrigerator is gross, your vials, your medicine's in there, it is what it is.
And apparently throw away your Chinese food, otherwise Christopher will call you out online.
Just saying, if there's mold on your leftovers, where do you think that's going?
No, it's not that bad. There's no mold. There's no mold.
Barb says, I tell people I can feel my fingerprints between my skin, but not fat. It's a struggle to find a place to inject booty. No fat there anymore. So Barb has lost, I don't remember. Laraine, how much has Barb lost?
405 pounds to 120 pounds.
405 to 120 pounds. And she's right at 5 foot tall. Barb will be on the cruise. I keep trying to talk Allie into coming on the cruise, but so far I haven't gotten anywhere with that. Come on the cruise. So we are taking a Downsized at Sea GLP-1 cruise, June 4th through the 8th, out of Miami, Florida. I can put the magic banner up here. We'll actually be on the ship, the Freedom of the Seas, which is Royal Caribbean, 4 nights. We'll be doing all kinds of fun stuff. We eat dinner together every night. You might even be able to line dance with Laraine or sing karaoke. We'll be filming some videos, doing all kinds of fun stuff. Allie's going to come now, right, Allie?
I would love to.
Listen, make friends.
I would love to. We would have a blast. My problem is getting off of work, but
I think you say that. I just think it's a people thing.
No, I would love to go and hang out with you guys. I think it would be a lot of fun.
That's funny. Pamela loves Hero Bread.
I tried to get them to sponsor me. I'm like, Hero Bread, send me your croissants. I saw somebody in the comments talking about the croissants. Look, see, love Hero tortillas. Yeah. I mean I talk about it all the time.
Let's see here. There's 337 people out there and 179 likes. We got to get to 200 likes here, folks. Come on, hit that like and subscribe.
Yeah, just minimize the chat and hit the like button.
Yep. Darian says there's also a bread brand named Arroyo available online that offers high fiber options as well.
Yes, I reviewed that one over in my reviews playlist. It is also delicious. A little bit harder for me to find it in stores, but very, very good. Oh, Amy, you're so sweet. The Good Show.
And I saw you did a review of the protein Pop-Tarts. I have some. We haven't done the review yet. I've got the blueberry and the cinnamon, And I've got the 2 flavors of protein Doritos too.
Oh, see, I've been trying to get my hands on the Doritos, but yeah. Let me know how the blueberry is, because I didn't have a chance to try that one.
I mean, I looked at it. We'll probably do it tomorrow, the next day. I mean, there's a little bit more protein, but it's not even that much more protein, and it's still there. It's
Yeah.
not like they're low calorie or anything. Still,
No.
and you didn't like the strawberry one, if I
Oh
recall.
my gosh. I was incredibly disappointed with Mr. Pop-Tart when that one came out. I was like, what did you do? You ruined strawberry. It was bad.
It's funny. Let's see here. Co-op says my vials are in their sealed bags, and the bags are inside a Tupperware and in a drawer devoted to the medicine only. Safe distance from general sows. Yeah, see.
How do they know that that's what's in my? I need you all to get out of my fridge, okay? What is happening?
I mean, it's
That's
that
what
or
I have in the fridge.
it's that or the crusty pizza. So, Linda
Oh.
Bookmiller, who we know lives on the other side of Charlotte. I take Miralax every day in my coffee. No taste, and it works beautifully. Does it change the texture of the coffee?
I don't think it does.
I don't know.
No, I mean, if you're somebody who lets your coffee sit for a really long time, it might get a little sludgy down in the bottom, but I mean, if you're actively drinking it, you should be fine.
Yeah, I don't ever get constipated. Honestly, this medication's done for me is make me less explosive.
Good. That's good. A lot of people say that it helps them kind of digestively in general.
Balance out, yeah. Amy Thoman says my hubby is a type 2 diabetic on Mounjaro. He buys Stello CGM. It really taught him how to eat.
Oh yeah.
Look at there. There's Barb. Barb is having her 4-year GLP-1 anniversary. 4 years ago today, started Trulicity, Mounjaro, 3+ years, down 280 pounds in remission from obesity, 15 months. So if you don't follow Barb's YouTube channel, it's called The Metabolic Midwife. So Barb used to be a midwife. She has retired from that, but her channel used to be called Health at Any Cost. So thank you very much, Barb. Congratulations on your 4. People talk about, well, has it been around that long? Well, Barb's been through all the iterations of it. In fact, when she started Trulicity, she didn't even know what it was. She was like, oh, I'm losing weight on this drug you gave me. What's going on?
Woohoo!
Congratulations, Barb. Let's see here. Travis, I just had a shot of Body Armor Zero Sugar for your 4-year anniversary, Barb. Cheers. Yeah, that's funny. Let's see here. Sold by Storm. That processed junk with a side of protein is the big food playing with us. Yeah, and for sure. No question about it. I mean, the thing is, I worked in the grocery business for a long time, and I've worked with food manufacturers and all of that. I can tell you, and it'll piss people off, but there's nothing fundamentally good or bad about manufacturing food. It's just cooking at scale. So the question really becomes is what is the quality of the ingredients that they're using? What are they putting in the food? Because the stuff that we call bad, quote unquote, is really just a lot of salt, fat, and sugar, because those are the easiest 3 things to bring flavor at the lowest cost. So you can pick up and look at the back of the nutrition panel and go, oh, if it's all salt, fat, and sugar, maybe I shouldn't be eating it, regardless of how much it's been processed. Because we know you can make a good processed food. You're eating protein powders. Do you think that grows on a tree?
If it did, I would be growing one of those trees. And I would have videos that are like, all right, guys, I'm planting my protein tree. Come on, Dan. Here we go. I'm watering my protein tree. Gosh, I would save so much money.
But here's the thing is we as a community can push food manufacturing to be better.
We already are. We are.
Absolutely. Everything they're doing is just a tool. They want to sell products. So if we say this is what we want, and we're 74% of America eventually, well, that's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah, we're already seeing it affect the fast food industry. right? We're seeing it with there are more and more protein products every day. Everything under the sun has a GLP-1 label. Like, we have a lot more power as consumers than we realize.
Lish Nivoy says, question, what was the main impetus to titrate up for you? A 4-week stall seems like the standard info I'm given, but that seems like an expensive month when paying out of pocket. It can be expensive. I can tell you, I'll let Ali answer, but I'm not really a good example because when I started on compounded, and then I went to branded Mounjaro and branded Zepbound because I had blood pressure. I had all kinds of issues, and I wanted my local doctor to be really close. And I was going to the doctor every couple of months and getting blood draws and the whole 9 yards. So a lot of the titration I did, particularly early on, was based either on the standard manufacturer's instructions, which were titrate up every month, so Lilly's instructions, or honestly, it was about the shortages. So I was taking whatever dose we could find. And I at that point had like 7 prescriptions around town, calling, like dialing for dollars Mounjaro, going, do you have 7.5? No, you got 10. Okay, I'll take 10. Do you have? And it was just whatever I could get. So not exactly the way to do it.
Yeah. So for me, titrating up was all about having a balance between how I felt and losing weight. So I had quite a few side effects from the get. And so the longer I stayed on a dose, right, the more those side effects went away and I went back to feeling kind of normal, if you will. And then I could really focus on losing the weight. And so for me, it was kind of this balance of, okay, how do I feel? How's my food noise? Am I losing weight? I lost half a pound this week. I lost nothing the next week. That's okay. We're going to keep going forward. For me, it was really because I had so much weight to lose. It was really I've got to stick this out at the lowest doses as long as I possibly can, because everything I was hearing at that time was, oh my gosh, I titrated up over 4 weeks and now I'm on 15 and now it stops working and now it's right. There was a lot of fear surrounding that at that time. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go low and slow and I'm just going to go through these doses. And I was really fortunate that, the longer I was on a dose, the better I would feel. And then I would just ride that wave until I stopped losing weight and the food noise started to come back. And I was like, all right, this doesn't feel as good anymore. Let's go up in dose. So I think that a lot of it depends on each individual's personal experience. And it also helps if you have a doctor that's not pressuring you to go up every 4 weeks as well. And I was very lucky, both to have insurance coverage at that time, right? Because I see where Lish is talking about paying out of pocket, right? It's a lot easier for me to sit back and say, oh yeah, go low and slow, when I was paying $25 a month. But when you're paying big money out of pocket, right, it can be more challenging, and you may need to scrutinize more closely what it is that you're doing and when you go up. And I totally get that.
And I mean, but pointing to what you were saying with your side effects is, if you're having side effects and bad problems, don't go up. It's not going to get better.
Right.
And honestly, that if you see most prescribers, the first thing they're going to ask you isn't weight, it's going to be side effects. They're
Right.
going to say, how are you doing? Right. Are you going to the bathroom? How are you going? Right. So let's see here. Allie, do you weigh daily?
Okay, so I don't at this point. And throughout my journey, I weighed myself weekly. And one of the things that I like to tell people about, so Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey, thank you for bringing this up. One thing I like to mention is your body doesn't function on a schedule. So we take our injection every 7 days, but you may not necessarily lose weight in every 7 days. And I think me with the diabetes, I would lose weight like every 10 days or 11 days. So it's important that you understand your relationship with the scale. I recommend that people, when they're just starting out, that they weigh themselves every day if that doesn't cause you any sort of mental hardship. So that you can really get a feel for, hey, I had that Chinese and now I'm up 3 pounds, but then it went away after a couple days because, as it turns out, sodium will do that to you, right? You can really get a feel for how your weight fluctuates over time instead of being hyper fixated on that number on the scale. So yeah, so I don't weigh daily, and now I weigh like every now and then. But when I was actively losing weight, it was once a week, with a caveat that it might be every like 10 days or 11 days, because that's when I would see the weight kind of drop off.
And Grant, I'll tell you, I weigh every day. However, I keep my app on a monthly view. So I'm not looking at it this close. Looking at it this, I like to see the line. And honestly, now a year into maintenance, the line's pretty much doing this. Right. So yeah, it goes up or down a smidge, but the more you zoom out, the less you actually see the variation. KZVUYP, not a question, but anyone feeling anxiety about insurance coverage? I paid full price for 5 months and feel overwhelmed by the thought of it. Absolutely. Everybody's feeling anxiety about it. Honestly, Laraine and I don't have any insurance coverage. Ours just sucks. We buy ours through the marketplace. There is no insurance available in the state of North Carolina that we can buy. So I'm anxious about it every day. I still honestly feel guilty about it half the time, but I'd rather feel a little bit guilty and be alive than feel guilty and be dead and not be able to take care of my family. So.
Yeah, I just recently lost insurance coverage, not lost insurance, but lost my really phenomenal coverage that I have. So, yeah, I am going compounded, or I've been on compound, and I pay out of pocket. So, but gosh, it was nice while it lasted when I had the insurance
Won the
coverage.
lottery for a little while.
Yeah.
Darium says you're expressing the feeling for so many people, KZUYP, which is the anxiety. Absolutely. You're not alone.
Yeah.
Kimberly says, took my 7th compound tirzepatide yesterday and now have a small red spot that I have in. So an injection site reaction. It happens pretty frequently, both with compounded and with the branded piece. And what was your advice? I think you had a tip on that, didn't you, Allie?
Yeah. I actually collected as many tips as I possibly could, both from the GLP-1 community and also from the medical community. So if you want to check out that video, you can. It's about injection site reactions. But essentially, mostly what the medical community says about the red spot, where it's like a welt, and it kind of raises up and it's really itchy, is that you're not doing the injection deep enough, which I thought was very interesting. Now, for anybody who's ever done an injection, you've had like that little bubble of your medication, right? That's on the top of the skin. And then if you don't clean that off, well, you will get an injection site reaction. The same can actually happen from the inside. So if you're not injecting into that fat and it's too close to the skin, you can also have that red spot kind of pop up. So make sure, if you're using your injector pen or a syringe, make sure that you're not, being timid about doing that injection. It's a very, very small needle. You're not going to go far enough to hit anything important. You're going to be okay. So yeah. And of course, make sure you're cleaning your injection site. I see you people out there without your alcohol wipes. You make me crazy. Clean the site.
Oh, that's funny. So there's 345 of you now and 228 likes. So thank you very much. There's still people out there who haven't liked those. So please. Co-op says, question, is there stigma regarding staying on tirzepatide forever post achieving goal weight? If so, why? Co-op as in Cooper. Okay. Coop. Oh, sorry. Not as in cooperation. Thank you, Coop. I appreciate the correction. There's a grocery store in England called Co-op. Yeah, there's a stigma about everything related to this. And I mean, one of the most common questions people will get is, you have to stay on this your whole life, right? Um, and I mean, I can tell you, I've been on blood pressure medication and cholesterol medication for 25 years, and not one single person said, you have to stay on this your whole life. I don't know. I have a tendency to believe it's all that sort of obesity bias that says, well, I don't want you to take care of yourself and I don't want you to be healthy. I'm going to talk you out of it. You're going to lose a lot of muscle and your pancreas is going to fall out and turn into a
Man, I hate it when my pancreas falls out. So yeah, one thing that I will say specifically about Coop's point here, about post achieving goal weight, there are a lot of people that have really strong opinions about people taking these GLP-1s, but they don't appear to be overweight, right? And so that kind of mixes in with somebody who's already achieved their goal weight, right? So then it's kind of like, well, why do you need to take it? Clearly you're not morbidly obese, right? It really, no matter how you look at it, you're having to fight people off, and honestly, it's just annoying. I look forward to the day where everything's covered by insurance, everybody's on a GLP-1, everybody loves it. It's like, hey, we got pills, we got this, we got that, right? That is what I look forward to.
And I will tell you, I filmed a video. So Eli Lilly released a lot of the details for their Surmount Maintain trials, which is the trial they did to look at tirzepatide in maintenance. And there was a whole other one called Attain around switching to Foundea. I filmed a video on it. All the data is out there. You can go find it if you really want to dive in deep. But basically, for people who were there was 3 arms of it. There was a highest dose attained. It was either 10 or 15. People who reduced down to 5 milligrams and people who got a placebo. So they were just shit out of luck. Well, imagine this. The shit out of luck people, forgive me for being crude. I've actually got the number right here in front of me. So let me make sure I get it exactly right. The ones who stopped treatment, 64% of them gained 100% of the weight back, which points to this is a treatment for the disease of obesity. It is not a cure. And if you stop taking the medication, you lose all of the metabolic benefits.
But maybe I'm one of those 25% that will keep it off.
Laraine says, but maybe I'm one of those 25%. And maybe you are, and that's very possible. And if you want to try it, more power to you. I can tell you my belief, and there's no research on this, is just Christopher's personal belief, is that if you have been overweight your entire life, if you were that fat kid, the odds of you at 30, 40, 50, all of a sudden being the person who can come off of it are pretty slim. If you've been overweight 10, 20, 30 years and you've dieted countless times, the odds of you coming off of that are pretty slim. Now, if you had a sports injury, you gained weight because you were no longer active, if you went through menopause, if you had a baby, there's actually brain injuries that can cause weight gain, there will be some things that it's worth trying. Go for it. But watch for this video. I can tell you that the numbers are compelling. I mean, basically, the stayed on full dose, stayed at the highest dose the whole time that they maintained, which is the strategy that I've been using. They actually lost a little under 0.2 kilograms, and not even a pound lost in maintenance. The 5 milligram dose, they gained 13 pounds in maintenance. The stopped treatment altogether, they gained on average 29 pounds in maintenance. Now everybody's going to go, well, did they stay on their lifestyle habits? And yes, they did. They tracked what they ate. They tracked their exercise. They tracked all the stuff.
I actually just recently got attacked in a support group for making this exact point that Christopher just illustrated beautifully. And it's one of those things, right? If you have the chronic disease of obesity and you stop treatment, right? It's one of those things, but we don't have like an exact blood test or something that can pinpoint, hey, this is the obesity that you have, this is the type that you have, here's your genetic makeup that says here's what happened, what, you know, at what point it happened, right? And there's so much complexity. Like we got PCOS, which by the way has a new name now.
It does.
And we've got, you know,
MOS.
like Christopher was saying, a brain injury. We've got all sort of metabolic disorders left and right. And so there's so much variation, and the medical community just hasn't caught up yet. So a lot of people get angry when we say, hey, if you have the disease of obesity or another metabolic challenge, then if you come off the meds, you may gain weight back. People get upset about that. But there's no way to know for sure if you got it or not.
So you can absolutely try. You can always come back and do it. I mean, it's the tool will still be available, which is awesome.
All right, Christopher, what scale is best?
Well, we are officially sponsored by the Hume Body Pod. And regardless of whether we were sponsored by Hume or not, we actually, I like the Body Pod a lot. It's an 8-point bioimpedance body analyzer scale. We also have another brand, traditional, just stand on it, 4-point bioimpedance. The challenge of those 4-point bioimpedance scales is it's only sending a signal basically up one leg, through your crotch, and down the other. And then it's using an algorithm to guess the top half of you. Well, there's a lot of women out there that may know that, hey, the top half of you is distinctly different than a lot of your friends, and they're distinctly different from me. So when it's guessing, it's not guessing terribly accurate. Laraine and I actually have a whole video where we went and did a DEXA scan. The same day, we also weighed with our traditional 4-point scale and on our body pod, and the body pod measurements were all within 1% of the DEXA scan. So we have a code and link in the description. We are sponsored by them, to be completely transparent. If you don't like that brand, there are other versions of that out there that do that have the handle and pull up. I definitely recommend one of those. But past that, I would also say, make sure you go. I did an interview with a researcher out of Germany named Dr. Langer, who has a whole thing around muscle and really thoroughly explains what the difference between lean body mass is and muscle. So the things that DEXA scans and Human Body Pods are measuring is lean body mass, which includes your tendons and the water and your liver and your kidney and all of this stuff in that, and it's not all muscle. And as we see more and more trials coming out, and actually Novo just had some for semaglutide, we're starting to see them better differentiate between the actual muscle and all the other stuff. And the fear over muscle loss is diminishing. It's not to say we don't still need to do all the things, but I don't know that any of these scientists actually believe it's 40% muscle loss anymore. What scale do you have?
I have the Renfro scale. It's just, one of those ones you just order it on Amazon and you jump on there and it says, hey, everything's good, or hey, you didn't do so hot, right?
And what I would tell you on all of the scales, they're all really good at weighing things. It's all the other numbers where they get off on.
Yeah.
Right. So if you compare 1-to-1 to your doctor to whatever, they're probably within a pound on any of the other ones. However, body water, that crazy metabolic age, no one really knows where that comes from, is different on a lot of people. That one always drives Laraine crazy.
So one thing I want to add about the scale is I know I see a lot of times people post in support groups and they're like, hey, my scale at home said I lost 5 pounds, but then my scale at the doctor said that I was up 7 pounds. And I just want you to know that whichever scale tells you what you want to hear, that's the one that's right. You're welcome.
Thanks, Allie.
I got you. I got you covered.
2 dog night. So not 3 dog night, but 2 dog night. All right. Joy to the world. Let's see. My state classifies obesity as a disability. Just curious how insurance companies can deny GLP-1 coverage for weight loss when it is a disability. Well, in your state, they might not be able to, honestly. I mean, I know there are some states that have different criteria for insurance. So there are people out there who go after things. Kind of like the state of California, it's pretty easy to chase things like that, and there's lawyers that will help you. Like North Dakota pays for GLP-1s. I think it's because there's like 4 people that live in North Dakota. Jamie Seltzer, if you're out there somewhere. But I'm not an attorney, but that doesn't sound right to me either.
Yeah, let us know what state you're in if you'd like. I'm always curious to know.
AIDA, losing coverage is looming in the future. I've been fortunate to pay $25 for the last 10 months, but if I lose, I will switch to compound. That's the plan. You know what? We do what we got to do.
That's a good plan. I like the way you think.
I do too. Moving onward. R.E. Houston, I agree. Susie, I'll go Lily direct if I lose coverage, rather not. However, if I do it, if I lose coverage, yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to do what we have to do. There's no question about it. I mean,
yeah.
GLP-1 journey and review. So Lori, who also has a channel, check her out, says, I don't understand why insurance companies don't get together and offer $175 insurance payment, $200 copay to Lily, so close to cash price. They would triple users and compound. I think you got 2 different things going on there. First of all, you have insurance companies that are their own profit center, and they're publicly traded, and they have to show that they're making a profit quarter after quarter after quarter. You have drug manufacturers that have to show that they're making a profit quarter after quarter after quarter. The third player that you don't see in there is actually the PBMs, the pharmacy benefit managers, that are very often also owned by the insurance companies that also make a profit. So it's not quite as simple as what you're saying, but I applaud the thought. And I do think, like, if CVS Health or Humana, there's a couple, CVS Health, Humana, and United are big enough that if they wanted to strong arm, Lilly or Novo, they probably could. I don't think they care. I think they're charging what they want to charge and they move on.
I think what we should do is start an insurance company and say, hey, push out a bunch of commercials. Are you on a GLP-1? Did your insurance company drop your coverage? Is your employer telling you we can't afford it, but we really want you to have it? Don't worry. You can join Downsized Fit Flavor Fun Insurance. Check us out today, right?
What do we got to do to put you in our insurance today? Do I have to go get my sales manager?
Exactly.
Funny enough, that's actually how insurance started.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm telling you, we would scoop up the entire market share, and then everything else would crumble. And then they'd have to change their ways. They'd be like, wait a minute. And then we'll buy up some pharmacies, right? We'll just do exactly what they've done, but we'll flip it on its head.
Yeah, I mean, early insurance companies, if you ever played games like Community Chest and those sorts of things, were all people getting together and forming their own little insurance co-ops, basically. Mm-hmm. Or you lived in North Carolina and you lived in a mill town, and the mill paid for, had a doctor on site for you. So
yeah.
But yeah, that would be a good idea. Kimmy from The Rock. Late to the party, seeing my doc tomorrow about HRT. Wonder, will anyone care if I'm on that for life? Well, Laraine is my HRT expert, but I don't think anybody cares about that now.
Exactly.
No, people only care when it has to do with losing weight. Then everyone has an opinion.
And I think they care because this works. Did anybody ever really care about the diet you were on, about the whatever that you did 52 times? No, because they knew it wasn't going to work. They all
had opinions about that too.
Mm-hmm.
Do this one. No, this one. This one is the best.
Keto, carnivore.
Right.
The keto people will come. The carnivore people will come out of the woodworks commenting. I had to ban the beer, butter, bacon, egg guy the other day that kicked. I don't know if
I'm sorry, is that the screen name?
I don't know. Some dude, I banned him the other day. He was like, every time he commented was in all caps, and it just said butter, beer, butter, bacon, eggs, whatever. I lost 17,000 pounds only eating saturated fat. Thanks.
Let's take a look at those arteries, buddy.
He commented on the live the other night, and I was like, if you keep doing this, I'm going to ban you. And then he did it like 2 more times the next day, and I'm like, you are blocked.
You're banned.
It's too funny. I thought you were saying that was the screen name. I was like, oh man, I'm totally going to create another account. Beer, batter, butter, bacon.
Yeah, I don't remember what his screen name was.
That's delicious. Delicious.
Valerie says, clean your injection site before and after the injection to wipe off any residual medication on the skin. That's it. Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Let's see here. Where are we? 377 people and 277 likes. Well, now we have to get 300. There's plenty of you out there. Come on. What is happening, people?
What's happening?
Question from Lynn Cobb. My first time using compounded tirzepatide from Vios Pharmacy. It was red in color. Is that normal? I'm not familiar with Vios, but very often they add a vitamin that has a color to it.
Yeah. B12.
B12. Darium answered that.
Yep.
Thank you, Darium. What is the new name for PCOS, please? It's PMOS, polymetabolic obesity? No, or is it ovarian? Polymetabolic ovarian syndrome? Is that right?
It sounds right.
There we go. Polyendocrine, thank you, Barb. Polyendocrine metabolic ovarian syndrome. Thank you, Barb. That's a mouthful. There's a lot of people throwing around new names for obesity that include the word metabolic in it, because obesity really just is a Latin word for you ate a lot. Any scale suggestions for those used with pacemakers? Most body composition scale sellers say not for people with pacemakers. That is actually true. Yeah, I don't think it wouldn't hurt you, but they don't work very well. I don't have any scale suggestions. I think you're going to have to go back to the older spring-based scale. And then honestly, I would start looking at reviews and
just whatever you do, don't get that one that you stand on and it sounds like the metal is going to go through the floor and then you got to move the ticker over. Oh. Don't do that. Okay. Nobody likes that. Nobody wants that in their house. So just stay away from that one.
The Lord knows. God, I still have nightmares about going and them having to push the bottom big one over. Like, no, don't push it over another. Oh, so no. Yeah, I'm sorry. W. Holmes, I don't know the answer to that question. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Let's see. Kimmy from The Rock says, I have the Arbo leaf. Same idea as the body pot. It tells me my body water is too low despite drinking buckets. But I read somewhere the Sjogren's disease, I believe, is how it can affect your reading. You okay there?
I'm just getting verklempt about the. Yeah. No, I just swallowed wrong. I'm good. It's my first day swallowing.
My knowledge of Sjogren's disease involved someone commenting about Sjogren's disease about a year ago and me going and looking it up. And honestly, that's about all I know about it. So
Diane has that.
Is that the Sjogren's is the dry mouth one or the?
Yeah, your body just sucks up water and it's.
Yeah, that can for sure, but I don't know. I know we have seen the body pod and a few other. Sometimes the body water can be impacted by the algorithm it's using and the app that it's using, and there's constant updates on those things as well. Let's see here. Durham says, thanks, Allie. Now I'm getting ads for bootleg insurance companies. Nancy Germain says, question, I feel that I'm remembering an organization that helped people with their fight. If I'm right, do you have the link and the name? So that was claimable. Thank you. Claimable. Yes. I don't have the link off the top, but if you search for claimable, they come up. And basically, I think it's 20 or $30, and they will help you file a objection to your stuff being denied. They're using a pretty elaborate AI algorithm that kind of knows all the tricks and things to do, and I think their success rate is pretty high. And I mean, for 20 or
It
30
is.
bucks, it's worth a shot if you can't get it approved.
Yeah. Side note, you can use code FitFlavorFun and it'll
There you
save you
go.
some more money. So yeah, claimable.com.
Nice.
But yeah, their
Great.
success rate is pretty high. It's pretty fantastic.
I think they're one of the sponsors for the Obesity Action Coalition's event in July, so we'll probably see them. The beer batter bacon. You have to capitalize it all. It was all like in all caps. Yeah. Sold by Storm says, are the 0.5 dose titrate dose and 5, 10, etc. therapeutic doses, or did I make that up? So there is some notion of therapeutic doses that come from Lilly. And the 0.5 doses are theoretically not therapeutic doses that the insurance companies then picked up, and some insurance companies will force you to move up if you're not on a therapeutic dose. I think that's all kind of bullshit, to be quite frank, but sometimes you're roped into your insurance rules, and it is what it is. Allie's nodding and going, that's bullshit. But
I concur. It is definitely bullshit. Yeah, it's one of those things where this is where study material, they extrapolate from it and then they try to slap it down and apply it to everyone. And I absolutely despise that. So it's like, oh, the first therapeutic dose, right, based off of the study is 5 milligrams when it comes to tirzepatide, Zepbound, Mounjaro. And so then it became, based off of what they studied. Well, then insurance companies took that and ran with it, and they were like, oh, that's not a therapeutic dose. Okay, great. You can only stay on it for 4 weeks. You have to move up, which I agree is redonkulous.
it's crazy. Grant's Faithful GLP-1 Journey. Do you think the FDA is going to get rid of compound meds? I don't think so. No, to be quite frank. I think the reality of compounding in the United States is it's significantly larger than GLP-1s. The compounding regulations were written such that local pharmacies could custom make medications for people, like honestly pharmacists have since the very beginning of time, right? You stood there with your mortar and pestle and you made people medications. Today they still do that. Your kid might be allergic to something and needs something taken out of it. Your kid might not be able to swallow a pill. A lot of pets have compounded medications. So I don't think that compounded medications are going to go away. I don't think compounded GLP-1s are going to go away. I think they may well be restricted, and you may not see the volumes that we have seen at some point. I don't think it's going to happen overnight, though.
I look forward to the riots in the street.
I mean, the thing is, I don't know if you saw the head of the FDA, Marty Makary, just got ousted, and they're going to replace him. And our government, no matter who's in charge, never moves very quickly. And there's a lot of oh, there's the doggy. Oh, multiple. No, there's two. I thought there's a littler one too, isn't there, Allie?
Yeah, there's 2 smaller ones. Hi.
Okay.
Are you guys okay?
What
Can
are
you
their
lay
names?
down?
Tell us.
Okay, so this is Sega.
Okay.
Come here, Sega. Come here. She's a good girl. This is Sega. She's my oldest standard poodle. You're a good girl. I know. And then here comes Sushi. This is Sushi. She's also a standard poodle. And then I've got my Whippet, Kevin, which you guys see in a lot of my videos. And then I also have a very, very older than dirt Pomeranian. His name is Bear. And you'll see him kind of wander through every now and then. I
saw him walk by a little while ago in the background.
Yeah. He makes a star appearance every now and then.
So the compounded thing, honestly, I think it will drag on for some time until either the courts do something and the courts are very slow, or until the FDA reworks the regulations, and they're very slow, and it'll have to go to review. It'll be a couple of years, and honestly, by then, it's very possible there's enough medications out and the prices have come down that the scale of compounding that we see today just won't be a feasible business option. At some point, there will be 4 or 5 manufacturers and 10, 12 drugs, and they'll be able to sell this for $30 a month. I don't know, I'm making up a number. $5 a month, Sally says. And compounding as we know it just won't be worth it. Honestly, it just won't, because the challenge isn't the production of the medication for the compounders. It's really the customer acquisition cost. So they're spending $100, $200, $300 per customer to obtain them. And then every time they cycle through, well, it's basically, we're looking at what I think Dave Knapp likes to call little pharma versus big pharma, right? They're making millions and big pharma is making billions. It'll balance out, and at some point compounding won't be as big, but by then you'll be able to get whatever meds you want for a reasonable price.
I look forward to that.
Coop again. Hello, Coop says, question, my dose is compounded with L-carnitine. I've heard others are with B12. Any thoughts on ensuring the best option there? My doctor recommended the L-carnitine for muscle retention. Allie?
Yeah, so my opinion on this, mind you, I'm not a doctor and I don't play one on TV, but my opinion on this is it's such a small amount that's mixed in, right? Compounded with these medications. I don't know that it's actually making a difference. For example, I have seen people who have their compounded medication B12 and then they still have a B12 deficiency, right? You're doing an injection usually once a week. It's a small amount. Is that enough in the mixture to actually make a difference for you? I'd love to see some research on it. So that's kind of my thoughts.
I can tell you there is no additive that actually changes the way tirzepatide or semaglutide works. It does not improve it. It does not hurt it. It may impact side effects. It may impact energy. It may impact a lot of other things. It does not change the efficacy of the actual tirzepatide or semaglutide. So, yeah, do as you will. R.E. Houston says, I don't foresee 503A GLP-1 compound pharmacy production will be shut down anytime soon. However, supply constraints are likely to occur given the imminent shutdown of 503B GLP-1 production. I mean, that's kind of the prevailing wisdom right now. I mean, I'll tell you, there's a lot of, I think I kind of stand alone. 503B production has not been legal since the FDA declared the shortage over, period. Says it straight in the regulation. Doesn't require a lawyer to look at it. You can search it for yourself. So the fact that the FDA wasn't enforcing that is an enforcement problem. But it's basically the same as speeding. The sign says 65. You can't go more than 65. So when you get a ticket, guess what? It was illegal. Well, I think the 503Bs are going to mostly stop. And if they're not, they're going to have big old lawyers and they're going to pay big old fines. Is that going to slow down compounding? I don't know. I know that is the prevailing wisdom. We'll see. Angel on my shoulder. I was on 12.5 Manjaro, paying out of pocket $580 a month. Then insurance said they'd cover 10, even though I was on 12.5. I moved to 10, but also took another 5. I've lost 170 pounds over 3 years. Well, that was some elaborate math, so you must have moved up in dose, but we'll give you some confetti because you lost 170 pounds over 3 years. So congratulations on that. And congratulations on figuring out the workaround to maintain your health, because we appreciate that. Barb says, smart, angel on my shoulder. Oh, Fallon Midlife NP. Hello, ma'am. How are you doing? She says, hello, everyone. Laraine did an interview with her last week, I guess. If you guys haven't watched that, it's fabulous. She's also on a GLP-1 journey and a nurse practitioner. So go watch that Downsized Dish. There is actually a Downsized Dish with Allie from probably, I don't know, a year ago, maybe.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see here. Barb Metabolic Midwife says Sabina just reported on 503B. It also directly mentions seizure and injunction as the next steps in non-compliance. So yeah, the FDA is sending out letters and going, we will take your stuff. Take your ball and go home.
My sentiment on that is, you and what army? I mean, it's not like, I mean, unless they employ another part, right?
Right.
Like, okay, so we're gonna pay people, because we don't have people at the FDA that just like go and do seizures. That doesn't exist. Like, they go out and we inspect and we write things up and then we send lots of letters. We do that. But
well, the FDA has the power to refer it to the Attorney General.
Right. And then they got to send somebody out to go do it.
And the Attorney General has the Army. So they could,
Who do they send? They send the police? They send the FBI?
They could, yeah.
They send the ICE? Like, who's
well,
coming?
I would assume not ICE. But yeah, the Attorney General could theoretically send the FBI, the state police, you name it. I mean, it just depends on how they want to use their resources. I mean, we know the FDA has no resources. They've lost thousands of jobs in the last year or so. It's not coming. There's no actual FDA police, but they can refer it for prosecution.
It's the police. Open up. It's the police.
I'm gonna make a jacket that says FDA police. Yes. And then I'm going to tell you I'm not going on the cruise, but then I'm going to show up on the cruise and I'm going to knock on everybody's door. I'm going to say, this is the FDA police. I need to inspect your GLP-1s. What do you mean you didn't bring your GLP-1s? What do you mean you didn't bring it? What do you mean you're skipping your shot because you're going on a cruise? You are in violation. I'm writing you a ticket.
Sounds like one of those AI videos. We can do like an episode of CSI. Yeah.
Yes.
Excuse me, ma'am. I need to inspect your Retatrutide.
Darium says the downsized dish with Ellie is in black and white. It's so old. It's been a while, but has so many gems.
Yes, it was. It was
Crazy.
Back in the day, which was a Wednesday.
Crazy. Well, so what's up next for your channel? What plans do you have?
Well, I've got a lot of stuff that I'm working on. I'm currently working on some workout videos, which I think will be a lot of fun. They're going to be themed.
Are you doing a full 80s workout theme gear? Let's get physical.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very excited about that. I'm just working on, I'm trying to make it so that I can have like the workout video and then also have like the little smaller screen where it shows you the modified exercises for people who may have challenges that are still, prioritizing resistance training. So yeah, so I've got that kind of in the works. Of course, I'm having a blast over on my second channel, which is Fit Flavor Fun Uncensored. That's all things not GLP-1. And thanks to a GLP-1, I am absolutely addicted to perfumes. So I've got some perfume reviews going on over there, along with, my usual shenanery.
Do you follow our friend James from Australia? Do you know James from Australia?
No.
We've done several interviews with him.
James Smells Good on TikTok.
It's James Smells Good on TikTok.
And
all he does is, and he's funny. He goes, "Hello, the internet," and he does perfume reviews and all. But he has been very successful on GLP-1 as well, and I think he's down 100 pounds or something, or 150 pounds, maybe. I don't remember. But I mean, we've done 3 interviews with him now. The first of which he was kind of frantic and sad. And then he comes back and he goes, "I realized I was kind of frantic and sad, so I thought maybe you wanted an update." But James is fabulous.
I think maybe I have seen his videos. I just recently started following a ton of perfume review peeps, and I'm, in the trenches learning the terminology and everything. I did my first review, and then I have some of my awesome followers were like, "Well, what about the longevity? Well, what's the wear time?" And I'm like, "Oh no, these people, they already know about perfumes. I got to get on it. Doggone it."
I just thought it smelled pretty. I don't know.
I'm just like, hey, this says it smells like banana, and it doesn't. It smells like maple syrup, and I don't like it. Right? So I've got to step up my perfume game, and I want you guys to know that I am 1,000,000% committed to it. And so is my bank account.
Oh my.
What's that?
Which one was that?
Oh, well, that is sensual cocoa vanilla. Yeah, lots of TikTokers are reviewing them. And one thing that I absolutely cannot stand is when they're reviewing them, but they're really just pushing a product to sell it. And then you go to buy it and it doesn't smell like what it's supposed to smell like. So yeah, so I'm reviewing these.
Well, I think half the time those
This one's good.
TikTokers have never used the products at all. They're just like, hey, I get a good commission on this one. Come buy it.
Right. I'm like, what? Anyway, I'm having fun with that. So that's kind of what I got going on. Got lots of protein reviews coming up. Drink reviews. Currently testing out some loaded tea. Have you been
Loaded
seeing
tea.
those?
I have seen it. Have you seen the Premier Protein soda?
Everybody keeps talking about it, but I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah,
Midgie, I see you.
Yeah, I haven't been able to find it either. I mean, it took me forever to find those dang Doritos. I kept walking through the store and there was just a slot full of Doritos.
Yeah.
Midgie spins fish. What is that? Hatching duck?
Those are tuners and chickies.
Oh, tuners and chickies. Okay.
Yeah, these are inside jokes from my channel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, my people know. Yeah. Sold by Storm's like tuner omelette.
Oh, I watched that. I was there for the tuner omelette. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
Video is
that one's coming up soon too.
Yeah, well, I've been doing a weekly cooking episode. I think I told you about on Saturdays. I've been doing cooking. It does okay. People seem to like it. It's not going to win any Tonys or Emmys or anything, but it's fun. Something different.
Yeah, I like it. I like watching the cooking videos, especially when I'm doing something and I just want to put something on kind of in the background and I'm looking, but I'm also, doing stuff. So I like how you guys go through and give all the steps. I really enjoy those. So just so you know, while you're cooking, I'm doing laundry and I'm watching you cooking.
All watch time is good watch time.
All watch time is good watch time. That's absolutely right.
That's right. I'm like,
So
wait, what did you chop up? What was that? Okay.
We love the people who watch on their big TV and they comment on their phone because then it doubles the watch time. So
love that.
Let's see here. It has now been 1 hour and 52 minutes of Allie and I just running our mouths. And would you have ever thought you'd just stare at a box and talk to it for hours on end?
That's my idea of a good time.
It is.
Tuner omelet
out there, 312 likes. So we busted the 300 mark. We appreciate that. It's been crazy. So as you can tell, Laraine has popped in and out a couple of times, and you can hear her murmuring about in the background.
We love Laraine.
Missing Laraine, but loving Allie. Well, Laraine will be back. Have no fear. We are actually traveling next week. So we leave for Amsterdam on Saturday. We'll be there's a very small piece of our quote unquote real world business that we kept that really just happens in these couple of weeks. And we were in New York City last week and did an event. And then we'll be in Paris just after that. So we will probably go live next week from some random place. You saw us do the weekly weigh-in from the steps in Times Square. So we actually did it on the steps above the ticket booth there. So I don't know where we'll do it from in Paris, but we'll do it from somewhere over there. Crazy Cat Lady in LA says, saw protein Doritos at Costco over the weekend. Who knew? But good Lord, I don't want to buy any protein thing from Costco. Do I need like 40 pounds of something I'm going to hate?
Yeah.
If all those protein companies could do one thing, it's make sample sizes. Nobody needs 100 pounds of something that tastes terrible.
I agree. Small sizes.
Yeah, give us something to try. Honestly, you know what? There's companies out there. Maybe it's another business idea for you, Allie, to get the small sizes to do sample size. You could send out a sample size protein box each month of new products.
I would love
Yeah.
that. I would sign up for that just so I could review all the products. Just because like the protein Doritos, they keep selling out. So by the time I go to do my grocery shopping, it's like, we're sorry, it's out of stock. I'm like,
Crazy. Well, very good. So, any more questions for Allie? Because we're going to get out of here. 2 hours is about my limit before I turn into a pumpkin. Let me make sure, Laraine, any final questions? There's pumpkins.
yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out with us. Make sure if you haven't already that you hit the like button. Just
and then
do it.
immediately go to Allie's channel and hit the like button.
Yeah.
Hit the like button. That is Laraine commenting there on it. Thanks, Allie. Well,
yeah, I'm so you guys know I love hanging out with you. So,
and literally, I called Allie, I think at 4:30 or something, and said, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?"
Yeah, it was great. I was like, "Great, now I'm gonna have to fix my hair. You could have given me more notice." I'm just kidding.
Your hair looks good. Your hair looks good.
Laraine says your hair looks good, Allie.
Hey, thanks. I was literally like working, typing, headset on, curling my hair, like all at the same time. It was wild. Yeah, Pep with Pam, come hang out. That's right. I will be live tomorrow.
Allie's live is tomorrow night.
Yes, we will be off the chain as we are every Thursday night. It gets wild. It gets crazy. We love it.
Let's see. Jeremy says, what did you guys think of the maintenance findings today? So I did a whole video that'll come out in the next few days on that. It's like a 20-minute video. You know how I like to dive deep. I think some of it was pretty obvious. So people regaining weight on the placebo. Yeah, no kidding. I think personally it validated the strategy I've been using. So I liked that a lot because we always like to be validated. So I've stayed on my highest dose, and that's basically what it said to do.
Yes.
I think I would have liked to have seen them research more doses and kind of go look at more splits. So basically just doing the placebo 5 milligram and 15 milligram. I don't know. Just, it felt like they could have done more. Like, I think we all still believe that it's going to vary more than 3 doses, right? That people are going to use whatever works for them. The other study, the Foundeo study, we had already seen results from that. That wasn't really anything new. And basically that one said, if you're switching from semaglutide, it's going to work pretty well. If you're switching from tirzepatide, you're going to gain a little bit of weight. But like I say, I think it's a 25-minute video that'll come out in the next week or so. So make sure you are subscribed and you'll get that. Allie, try Mugler Alien Intense and Prada Radical, my 2 favorites perfumes. What does Mugler Alien Intense smell like? That doesn't sound like it would be a good smell.
Aliens, duh, Christopher.
Aliens, like sweaty, smelly,
Duh.
like
Duh.
gross aliens.
Yeah, then the other one is like expensive aliens, of course. Yeah, I took a screenshot, Doris, so I'll be sure to check it out. Yeah.
All right, so I think that is it for us this evening. It is. It's been great. Thank you very much, Aida. And we will be back. Make sure you do go check Allie out and subscribe to her channel. And say hello while you're over there. Tell all those folks where you came from, and we all appreciate the support. You know, there's a lot of creators out there talking about GLP-1s and getting healthy, and I appreciate what Allie's doing. So you guys go check it out.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me, because your subscribers are awesome. Like I jump over into your lives and I'm always down in the comments, just goofing off, and you have some really fantastic subscribers. So it was really a lot of fun to come hang out tonight. We should do it again.
Absolutely. And I think Durham says 47,000 unlocked. Did we actually get to 47,000, Durham? I think we were pretty close this morning. So if not, we're close. We're aiming for 50 in the next month or two. So we'll get there. One subscriber at a time. We know that.
Oh yeah, 47,002.
47,002. It's a strange world. 2 years ago, if you had told me 47,000 people would be subscribing, and I still don't believe it. So I'm like,
Right.
So
It's surreal.
Hey,
look, here's a Kevin. Come here, Kevin.
Oh, hey, Kevin.
Come on, you can come say goodbye to everybody. This is Kevin. Okay, bye, Kevin. That was short and sweet. Signing us off.
We'll take whatever Kevin we can get. All right,
right.
That is it for us this evening. If you have not already, like and subscribe to the Downsized and the Fit Flavor Fun, and we'll be back next week. There's videos, of course, from us every day, and I think Allie has them every day as well. So, right?
That's right.
We're creating a lot of content out there. We appreciate your support. All right, thank you very much. We're out of here. My name is Christopher Durham, and she is Allie.
Allie.
And we are the Downsized. We'll see you next time.